Good evening. Cheltenham Day 1 is over.
Some of us are happier than others.
Cheltenham, we're here now to do Cheltenham Day 2, and yeah, it's not been a good day for me, really, if I'm honest. I've got a smug man over here, maybe even slightly smugger one over here. Um,
Over there.
there might be some, I might get mocked a little bit tonight, but I'm going to go again. I'm going to come back strong, like Dave said. I've lost the battle, but the war goes on. So yeah, we're going to crack on with day 2 of Cheltmas, and we're going to start with the first race tomorrow, which is the 120, the Turner's Novices Hurdle, Grade 1, over 2 miles 5 furlongs. I'm happy for someone else to start, but I'll go with you because I know what I want.
Well,
Dave, you
I'm happy to
start, mate.
start. I'm
Go
happy to
ahead,
start
David.
because one, I want to say my nap of the meeting, Haiti Killor, absolutely shitting,
I didn't have a bet in that race.
and I'm hopeful that all of you followed my advice and not his advice about transmission, who finished out with the washing. Gregory's had a good day. He's won a good few quid. Lots of excellent each way punting there,
Yes,
Gregor.
take no
For the Gregory.
chances. Plays 33
Constitution Hill was a big blow to the bank
Oh.
balance, but
Oh
luckily
yeah,
Haiti Kalor
Pipe
got
was
it
on
all
the
back.
front.
But
It's still over there. There's my pipe.
the good news is that both Stateman and Constitution
yeah,
Hill are both well,
absolutely.
and both jockeys are well. So that's the main thing. We can make a few quid another day, but
We had a few lips going though, didn't we?
we did. The house was very quiet
It
for at
was,
least an
yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, onward.
Onward. Yeah, let's
So
do it.
I'm happy to start.
Go on, mate.
We've obviously got Willie Mullins, another hot Willie Mullins favourite here, Final Demand, and the Great White English Hope, the new Lion, who's just a shade shorter than 2-1 at the moment. Both very, very smart novices. 2 mile 5 should suit them both. Final Demand looks a real chaser in the making, and possibly even, if we can look that far ahead, a Gold Cup type horse one day. New Lion, very speedy for a middle distance horse, I think. Very good horse, rock solid form, 4 runs, 4 wins. Can't knock him. I wouldn't put anybody off betting either of them if that was their strong choice. However, I am going to go with the third in the market, the Yellow Clay, trained by Gordon Elliott. 4 straight wins now over hurdles. There is a slight doubt about the ground, whether he wants it a lot softer than this, but I think he's a real true stayer, and I think this will be run at a good gallop. And I think he may be off the bridle long before the New Lion, but he just might outstay him. And so I'm going to go with the Yellow Clay, currently trading at 13-2. And if I was going to give one at a big price or a bigger price, I'd probably say Potter's Charm each way at 14-1 for a place. He had brilliant form up until his last run, which was disappointing. I think it's well documented that the Twist and Davis yard were regretting running him because it was very heavy ground and he'd had a hard race in the Grade 1 at Aintree at Boxing Day. Probably shouldn't have run him. But he's 16-1. Clive's just showing me now. Yeah, 16-1 with a bet boost with Bet365 each way. So that'd be the one I put up each way, and Yellow Clay is my main fancy.
Um, I am going to go with. I like the New Lion. I think because of the conditions make me fancy him a bit more. The British are going well. We're actually in the lead, believe it or not, after the first day. I know we got a bit lucky with Golden Sun. Well, unlucky.
Golden
whichever
Ace.
way-
Golden Ace.
Golden Ace, yes, sorry. But I like the New Lion. I think his form's rock solid. I think that was a pretty decent shallow. I think that people have underestimated that race, and he didn't just win it; he won it as easy as you like. And I think I agree with Dave. I think the Yellow Clay and Final Demand both big, strong stayers. But I'm not sure on these conditions tomorrow that big, strong stayers are going to what you're going to need. I think maybe you might need a speed horse, and he is certainly that. So I'm going to keep the faith with the British horse and the Skeltons. I'm going to go with the New Lion, and I totally agree with Dave. If I was having an each way betting this, I'd be all over Potter's Charm, especially at 16-1. You take away the last time when he probably was one run too many. Before that, his form is absolutely rock solid. And how many places do they pay on this today?
Three, I think. Three, I think.
Probably first 3, I think.
It is first free. But if you use each way extra, you might be able to get a better deal. But yeah, Potter's Charm each way at 16-1. That would be me too. But yeah, I'm in the New Lion camp. Gregory, cheer up, mate. You look
No,
have a good day.
I'm thinking.
All right. I was just, oh.
Can you hear the wheels? Can you hear the wheels turn?
I can hear the grinding.
This is a really hard race. I think it's at the top 5. I'm thinking forget the rest. I like the New Lion, but I'm worried about the Challow Hurdle being the graveyard for this horse.
Yeah,
I
I'll go
like
for
the
that.
yellow clay. I think you can back him each way. I think you get 13 and 2. I can go
Greg,
with Potter's Charm, but
Greg, sorry to interrupt. Can we just explain to some of our viewers that the what you mean by that with the new line of the Challow? The Challow Hurdle
yeah,
has a really poor record of coming onto the Cheltenham Festival of winning. They come second, they come third.
I don't win.
They don't win for some reason. We don't know why, because there's a grade one, a very good grade one. But that's what he's referring to when he
Sorry,
says
yeah,
it's a bit of
it's
a
a, it's
grade
a,
one.
it's a prep race and it's not a great pointer for this, but the records are there to be broken. I'm going to go for the final demand.
Ooh,
So
total disagreement.
I'm going for because he's top on Gregor, right? So I'm going final demand. Yeah,
Anything each way?
I'll go Potter's Charm each way as
I wouldn't
well.
rule. I wouldn't rule.
I think he's a great price,
I wouldn't
Potter's
rule.
Charm.
6 Mile Bridge out each way either.
I think it's out of the 10, then five. I can't see anything else winning
It's
apart
a
from
good
them.
race. Let's be honest. This is probably the best novice race of the meeting, the most competitive one. You wouldn't be surprised, who won this one, would you? But you have to pick one of them. So yes, I think it's quite good that we picked a different one each. We've got different opinions on this one.
There could be some Willie Mullins team tactics. He's got
Yeah,
plenty of running. They could be
yeah,
sort of going a gallop and then leaving a gap for Paul Townend down the inner and that sort of thing. So, um, the English jockeys, British jockeys are going to have their wits about them.
yeah,
But there we go.
yeah.
One more thing.
Thought Greg.
McManus doesn't spend £1 million on horses if he didn't think they were going to be decent. So that's another pointer for the new line. He was so impressive in the Cheltenham, wasn't he? Let's
Yeah.
face it. But
He won at Newbury when we were there, didn't he, as well?
I don't know. I just it's that the horse don't know he run in the Cheltenham, but it's a stat it's a big stat for me.
Yeah, personally, I hope the new line wins for Dan and Grace Skelton. They're good friends of mine, and Harry also. So I hope it wins for them. But my betting head says the yellow clay. So
So there's three for you to decide which one to pick. If you're based on today, go for one of theirs. uh, the 2 o'clock is the Brown Advisory Novices Chase Grade 1 over 3 miles, 110 yards. There's only what's that, 7 runners, so each way is going to be first or second in this. A horse I really like, who done us all a big favour, who last race last year was Better Days Ahead. I do think the quicker ground is against him, but I feel like I need to stay loyal. I mean, the Ballyburn's he's the best horse in this race. But like we talked about yesterday about Magsborough, he was the best horse in the race, and he might beat himself if he's jumping, and that's exactly what happened. I feel that could happen again tomorrow because you can't hit fences at Cheltenham. If he doesn't make a mistake, Ballyburn probably wins, but I'd be willing to take him on at a bigger price with Better Days Ahead. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked I wouldn't be shocked he's favourite, but I wouldn't put anyone off back in Ballyburn, especially if they can get like odds against 11 to 10, something like that. I'm currently running at 2 to 3 on there. Was he on them?
4 to 5 with me.
4 to 5 on Bet365. 8 to 1 Better Days Ahead. Ballyburn 8 to 11. So I wouldn't have none of that. I don't think it's an 8 to 11 shot, do you?
I'll give my opinion in a bit.
Okay. Do you want to go now, or do you want to go Greg Warren?
Greg.
I won't be playing in this race.
No, nothing.
No, I think Ballyburn will win just because I don't think he might not have to be at his best. I think I agree with you. If the ground was softer, I might go after him. But I just think he might just be just better than these. And if you're opening on a mistake, then for me, he wins. I'm not going to be playing in this race. I'm going to sit there and just watch. It's just not a race. I don't do 7 runner fields very often. So
Just backing up what Greg said there. I mean, looking at the field, the one who probably copes with better ground the best is probably Ballyburn. So, I mean, they all like Dancing City. I think he's an out-and-out stay. Probably wants it slower. Better Days Ahead. I don't know much about Gorgeous Tom. Lecky Watson, I think he's another one that wants a proper test. Hay de Bourbon, probably not good enough. Stella Story won the potato race last year, the Albert Bartlett, and
yeah, I'm really.
it was an absolute slog on really soft ground. Davo.
Yeah, I think this race is very tricky from a betting point of view. We take Ballyburn out on official ratings. He's rated 160. But the rest, Dancing City 152, Better Days Ahead 152, Gorgeous Tom 149, Stella Story 151, Lecky Watson 152, Kida Bourbon 150. There's £3 between all of that lot on official ratings, and Ballyburn stands £8 on official ratings ahead of them. I share Clive's view exactly. He doesn't make the most natural shape at fences. He's a bit cautious. loses ground rather than gains ground. And I think in a race like this, on good ground, after watching Madsborough today and saying the similar things last night, I'd be keen to take him on. Um, because if he belts one, which he did at Kempton against, admittedly, the mighty Sergino, um, one of these other lads could step in. And a horse I think jumps very well, stays very well, will get up the hill. Every yard of it is better days ahead. And I'm going to plump for him. There is a caveat that, as Clive said, he might want softer ground, but I think he's a proper stayer. He's won at the Cheltenham Festival. He's got £8 to find, but that's maybe two poor jumps from Ballyburn,
Yeah,
and he's right there. And I'm with him. Take on
cool.
the favourite.
I like that. Right, that's that done. We've got the 440, sorry, 240 next, which is the Coral Cup Handicap Hurdle. Over 2 miles 5, 26 runners. Now, most people say this is a pin job, but this is right up mine and Greg Street. Saying that, my record in it's not brilliant, so I'm going to let Greggy go first.
This is my each way bet of the week. It's not my banker of the week. He runs on Thursday, but it's my each way bet of the week, and it's beat the back for Harry Fry. I think he's well in here. I don't think it's a great Coral Cup, to be honest.
Isn't it?
No, I don't know that.
But quality wise, great competitive race. That's why he's a nice weight. Was he on 10.8? He's been running over two shorter trips. He was fifth in the Betfair hurdle behind. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's been bigger 25 to 1. He's now 11 to 1. So he was running on fifth behind Joy Who. Where did she
She
finish?
was fourth today.
So she was fourth today in a grade one. And I just think he's well in at the weights. I think he's crying out for this trip. He's ran at the track. I think he could go well. But I haven't even backed him yet. I put him in a multiple at 20 to 1, but I haven't backed him singles, which is a bit of a. Then, if you want a really nice, I'm going to give you two or three here at big prizes for you smaller punters who can't steam in on 4 to 6s and that. I want to give you Colonel Mustard as well. I think he doesn't win very often, but he's just fallen down the handicap, and he's the best handicap horse in this race. And this horse is running multiple grade twos and grade ones and never runs a bad figure. I think he's only ever been out the frame twice in his whole career, but he's only ever won twice as well. So plays at best, I think, with him. And then another lossy mouth. I think another lossy mouth could go well handicapped again. Get the other lossy mouth, not the one that ran today, is another one. And that's at 50 to 1. So they're the three I'm going to go up, but beat the bat is my number one, and I fancied it as soon as I see it was running in the Coral Cup. So that's where I stand on this race.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Greg on beat the bat. He's kind of talked him into it each way, although the price has gone a little bit. I mean, he's currently 12 to 1 on Bet365 for Bet Boost, but he was 25 a couple of days ago, wasn't he?
I've got to mention Be Aware as well.
I don't know. I'm not sure about Be Aware. I don't know, but I like Sandal again each way as well because horses that are graded races have got a good record in this. All horses that are falling down the handicap, like Colonel Mustard. But even Sandal Lane now was 33s a couple of days ago, now 14s. But the one I'm probably going to have my biggest bet on this is I'm going to stick with my old mates Nicky Henderson and Nico de Boinville in Pose Etoile. He had one run this season. That was at Cheltenham, wasn't it?
No, Newbury, we were there.
Oh, yeah, Newbury, that's right.
Do you
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
Hennessy Day? When I said he couldn't hurdle.
That's right, yeah. And he won. He won comfortably. I think he's gone up £7 for that. But that was first time out, and I think he's definitely easily got £7 of improvement. I think 11.2 is a very competitive racing weight. He'll like the hustle and bustle of this race. He's not scared of a big field. He's been in plenty of big field handicaps. And yeah, 8 to 1. I think he's the horse for me in Pose Etoile. I will be back in Beat the Bat because there's no way I can let that run a big race and not be on because I'm never at the end of it. And I'll probably have a little bit. I might have a little bit. I might have a little bit each one Colonel Mustard too. But yeah, for me, the winner. My idea of the winner is in Pose Etoile.
Okay, for me, this is a booking's benefit. It's a really, really tricky puzzle. I would advise small stakes all round.
Yeah.
Be Aware, I will give him a mention. I think he ran a great race in the Great Wood Hurdle at Cheltenham, where he was second to Burdett Road. He went on to finish second in the Champion Hurdle today, maybe a bit fortuitously, as we saw. He was a bit disappointing for me at Ascot the next time, but I'm wondering whether that was Dan Skelton, the horse was maybe not working that well at the time, and suddenly he'll burst into bloom at Cheltenham in March. He's 5-1. I think he has got a favourite's chance, but he's not the one I would be putting my money on. The horse I like is number 15, Comfort Zone, a JP McManus horse trained by Joseph O'Brien, who won the Fred Winter today. Mark Walsh, JP's first jockey, is on board. I think he's got a progressive profile. He's got a lovely weight. So he's my number one, Comfort Zone. I'm with Clive with Impostoir. I think he's got a big chance. A great trainer and jockey. I think he'll go well. So those are my main two. And Greg has convinced us all over the last couple of weeks about Beat the Bat. We didn't know whether he was going for this race or the Martin Pipe, but he's gone for this race. So we've got to include him. You could give any number a chance, and what Greg said already about Colonel Mustard and Lossiemouth, they've got chances at massive prices. But for me, the main two are Comfort Zone, Impostoir, and Beat the Bat as the third option.
I'm shocked that Bunting has been backed into joint favourite, be aware. I think 2 5-1 joint favourites in a 26 runner handicap at Cheltenham is a bit tight from the bookies.
Yeah, Bunting is owned by a professional punter in Tony Bloom, so he does know how to have it off, as they say. So yeah, maybe he should be looked at, but he's not one I've considered on form. I think there's a bit of a Paul Townend effect going on there. When he rides one in a handicap, people tend to lump on. But I'm going to stick with my original choices.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, that's the Coral Cup. Let's go on to the next race, which is the 320, which is the Glenfarclas Cross Country Chase. Either you can talk first. I don't like this race.
Well, I think we say this every year. This race shouldn't be at Cheltenham Festival. I don't like it personally.
Like
it's better now. It's an handicap.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit more interesting.
Now it's an handicap.
It's a novelty race, which I don't like. But nevertheless, it's a race at the festival, so we have to give you a tip. So I actually think I've got the winner. Which is, I never ever bet in this race, but I am tempted to have a bet. I normally, if I was at Cheltenham, I'd go to the bar. I wouldn't even watch it. But I am tempted to have a punt tomorrow, and that is on Nicky Henderson's Mr. Coffee. Now, this horse has never won a race over fences.
How many times has he been second?
A lot of times, and he was second here in December over this course and distance, over the cross country. He was beaten a length by the favourite, Stumptown, today's favourite, Stumptown. And he was getting £9, and he was beaten a length. Today, he's getting £14. So effectively, you could say he should beat the favourite by 4 lengths. So I think he's weighted to win. He does like finishing second, so and he is an each way price, 15-2, 8-1, that sort of area. I don't really want to mention any others because it's not my race, but Mr. Coffee for me.
Greg, opinion?
Galvin.
Really?
Yeah. 3 years ago, I backed him to win the Gold Cup, and now he's in it. Now, that's not a great price, no. But with the drying ground, there's good patches on the cross country course. And I just think I think he's a class act on his day. I mean, I backed him a few years ago. Well, he was nowhere in the Gold Cup, but I think that's how sort of high they did regard him. He's 11, I suppose, but I'm just going because he's won here, he's done this, and he's going to like the drying ground. And if I was to throw another one in, it'd probably be Chemical Energy, and they're the two for me. But as I'm with Dave, it's not what I mean for a race that I'll have an interest in it, but it'll be a small stake.
It's a fiver on Mr. Coffee or something, isn't it? It's one of those. It's not steaming. I think 5-2 favourite. Having a 5-2 favourite in a race like this again, I think that's tight from the bookies.
So much can happen. They can take the wrong course, which they do frequently.
It happened, doesn't it?
They can run out, they can refuse, they can fall. Anything can happen in this race, so it is a bit of a lottery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any opinions?
Yeah, I'm probably with you, Dave. I'll probably have a bit of a £5 fun bet or something on Mr. Coffee. If I'm up, I might even stretch to it. Anyway, let's go. That's enough of that one. Let's get on to the 4 o'clock, which is the big race of the day, which is the Bet MGM Queen Mother Champion Chase over 2 miles, Grade 1. I'll jump straight in here, and I've been through this a number of times, and the ground the way it is, I can't see John Bond getting beat. I think Marine Nationale will like the ground, but and he was beaten last time at Leopardstown by Solness. I don't think Solness has improved massively, but I still don't think he's improved enough to beat John Bond. I think John Bond's as he's got older, he's become calmer and a better horse all round. And the more I go through the field, Energumene, a two-time champion, and he's a good horse, but I think he would want the ground, he would want the rain to come, which it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I can't see any further than Jean Bon. I think if you can get even money or something, Jean Bon tomorrow, you'll do very well. You might get a bet through somewhere. I think he is arguably one of the bankers of the meeting if you're a short price favourite backer. But yeah, I'll probably stick him in a multiple bet, win multiple bet, and if I could get a bet boost somewhere, I'd probably go in on John Bon as well. I can't find anything to beat him. Surely he wins, right?
For me, this race has one word: John Bon.
Grego?
Yeah, the John Bond camp,
John
definitely.
Bon?
Yeah, I love the horse. You don't know how to run a bad race.
Really tried hard to make it interesting then.
But I think Solness will chase him home.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think Solness will bowl on, or do you think John Bon will try and take him on, or do you think he'll just sit behind him?
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. Nico will know, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I just think you look at, I mean, John Bond, I mean, this, as you said, with this ground, if it was really soft, I'd be worried.
You go through them. Captain Guinness, he won't mind the ground. He's a previous winner, but I don't think he got lucky when he won it, didn't he? And Nergamine, for me, good horse, 11 years old now. Definitely wants soft ground. Founder 50, I don't think he's good enough to beat John Bon. Liberty Hunter, I don't think he's quite great one. Level, again, I think he would want soft to go. Marine Nationale, a former Supreme winner. I think ground is coming in his favour, but still, is he good enough to beat John Bon? Quilixilos, I think he wants softer ground, and Solness will. I think he would like softer ground.
Founder 50 might mind the ground, but is he good enough?
That's what I'd worry about.
Personally, I think the betting's bang on. I think John Bon will beat Marine Nationale.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the betting for this race is spot on. That's how they'll finish.
Yeah, barring incident, if there was a mistake or something, you might get a reverse. But for me, yeah, if they all jump, John Bon wins for me.
Yeah, mate.
Right, the 440. What we got?
And then you win it.
The Johnny Henderson Grand Annual.
Another tough race.
I spoke first that time. Someone else want to go?
Oh, shall I go? Well, I'm going to throw three here. My main one is, I think this could be a plot job myself, is Jazzy Matty. I like Jazzy Matty. He won the Fred Winter here. And we actually see Jazzy Matty when we went to Fairy House, but Dave.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
He didn't run very well that day, no. But I think this is a plot job, and I think he's well handicapped. So he's got cause for him. He'll like the ground, so he's my number one. Then I'm going to go for Primoz, which is the same trainer as the one that won the Ultima today.
Lean this way a bit. You're going out.
No, sorry, Mayortown, who was trained by Lucinda Russell, that won the Ultima today and bolted up. And I think she might have another one here on the low weight with Primoz. Very similar situation here. And then the other one, if you like, a big 50 to 1. I've been saying this for a while. I think this horse will run a big race at big price is Nell's Son. And they're the three for me. But I probably won't back all three. One of them's got to get thrown out. It won't be Jazzy Matty, so it's either Primoz or Nell's Son. But to you as getting smaller people who like a little each way and like a take on a big price, I think Primoz. What price is Primoz, bro?
25s.
Yeah, they are, and Nell's Son's 50s.
40s on what I'm looking at.
Oh, 40s.
Yeah, 40 to 50.
So they're my three, and I'm not blaming. Well, I am blaming my own champion. I had a 33 to 1 third, a 28 to 1 second, fourth, sorry, and 12 to 1 third today, and had a good little treble up. So yeah, you don't have to win to win money. Big places can win you money as well. So there we go. That's my look on them three. Davo, Clifton.
Yeah, I'm happy to go. I'm also, I believe I'm right in saying that the Russell brothers have both landed on Jazzy Matty. I've looked for his form. I think he's got a great chance. He's got festival form. He won the Fred Winter. He'll love the ground. He's got a lovely light 10 stone 7. Looks like he's been plotted up for this. He's got to be number one choice. And my second choice, who I think will go very, very close, is the class horse in this race. He's the top weight with 12 stone. It's JPR1, trained by Joe Tizard. He won the Holden Gold Cup first time out this year, beating DeGello, which has then gone on and won Grade Ones. Very good horse. He's been third in the Tingle Creek Grade One, and he was fourth in the uh, Game Spirit at Newbury. Again, both those second two runs were on soft ground, which JPR1 does not like. He really is a good ground horse. Joe Tizard could have gone to the champion chase with him and maybe tried for third or fourth prize. He's come here, and I think he thinks he can win this even with top weight. He's 10-1. I think he's got a big chance. So Jazzy Matty and JPR1.
Yeah, I'm all over Jazzy Matty in this. I spotted him a while back, and I think he's landing in on a very competitive weight. Like they both just said that he's won at the festival before. He's changed trainers since then. It was the sale, wasn't it?
The Coldwell
Yeah.
horses. Yeah, he's moved from Gordon Elliott to Cian Collins. Is it?
Yeah, Cian Collins. Yeah, I think he's well in the he's probably the only horse I'm going to back in this. I don't want to say he will win because I think I said that about Katati Dori yesterday. He didn't jump very well at all, and it's very disappointing. But I'm really strong on Jazzy Matty. I really like him. It's probably one of my best bets tomorrow. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't make the frame. Yeah, I haven't really got anything else I want to talk about. Anyone else? Yeah, just Jazzy Matty for me.
Move on.
Yeah. Right, the last race of tomorrow is the Weatherby's Champion Bumper, or you can call it the Mullins Elliott Bumper if you like, because they tend to dominate it. I know Dave's got some thing to say about one of the home team, but it's a difficult race. It's a hard one to get the winner of. You do get shocks in it, but Mullins does have a terrific record in it, and you have to be thinking about they must have good chances. I like the fact that because doesn't Mullins get the Mullins jockey get the choice in it over Townend?
Yeah, Bump Along Paddy gets the
Bump Along Paddy.
He gets the first choice ahead of Paul Townend of this, so he's chosen Copacabana. Yeah,
I didn't listen to Dave earlier when he was very strong on High Tea Clause yesterday, and he said that Ben Jones would beat Bump Along Paddy in a tight finish. Well, it didn't even come to the tight finish. High Tea Clause shit in, and I was smashed all out the back of the TV somewhere. But I am with Bump Along Paddy in this one. I am in the Copacabana camp. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big punter in the bumper because it's a tough race. But yeah, small stakes Copacabana for me. 11-4 is not a very good price each way. I'll let Dave talk about that in a minute. But yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah, just win bet in this race for me, Copacabana.
Have you, Gregor?
I'm going for. I like Elliott's horse, Calypso Chance. I think he's joint top on the right and on me ratings with Bambino Fever of all of them. I don't really know much about Bambino Fever.
That's Mullins as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's won very impressively last price. Yeah.
So they're what price is them two?
Before we look at the price for you, Bambino Fever, is that a mare?
Yeah, she's 13-2 and Calypso Chance 11-2. Roughly.
Well, there's not really an each way one there. What about Aquaforce? He's up there.
He's 12-1.
Well, I'm gonna. If I was going to have to back two, one each way, and one, I'd probably go Calypso Chance and Aquaforce. As I said, It's not a sort of race. I'm just going in on what my figures say. I haven't really gone into the form. A lot of them. Copacabana's only run once, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not one. It's not the sort of race I'm strong on, and I haven't had many winners. I think I've had Dungueve and Fiona. I think they're the only two I've had. Oh no, I'm War Allen, so I've had three.
Oh, yeah.
So three in the last 20 years. So it's not a great strike rate, to be honest. So you might be better off listening to somebody else.
Dave, any strong opinions in this?
Well, firstly, the strong opinion is that, and I think I say this every year on the podcast, is that Andy Smith, my great friend, former bookmaker, says that when he was standing at Cheltenham with his satchel open, he would just open the satchel as wide as it could go for the bumper and chuck the pound notes in because he said it is a bookie's benefit. Now, favourites do win, but every horse gets backed in the bumper because every trainer's coming here over with an unbeaten horse. They all fancy him, the owners fancy him, then their friends fancy him, so they all back every horse. So the bookies usually get a result here, even if the favourite wins, funnily enough. For me, there's only really two horses I want to talk about, I think. Um, I've watched a lot of Irish bumpers this year purposely so that I've got a better handle on this race because they've got such a great record in it. And I actually think the Irish bumper crop this year is the poorest I've seen for a long time. I've not been impressed by many, if any. However, there was one that caught my eye. I thought he was seriously impressive, a gorgeous looking horse. I bet you won't see a better looking horse in the paddock, and that is unfortunately the favourite Copacabana. He looked a monster when I watched him win. And a gorgeous, gorgeous horse, relaxed in the race, didn't pull, and when Paddy pulled him out and gave him the office, and he really went about his business well. So I think he's a worthy favourite. Um, but I am going to put one up for the home team because Ditchit is where I'm from and where I live, and we do have a runner here and no drama this end. And he's probably shown the best bumper form, or nearly the best bumper form anyway, in the UK this year, barring probably Win Beneath My Wings, who would have been a strong fancy in this race, but unfortunately hasn't made the lineup due to an injury. Um, no drama this end. We think a real big star in Ditchit in the years to come. Probably would prefer softer ground, but he's got very much a similar profile to Captain T. He finished third in this bumper a couple of years ago and then went on to win the Grade 1 Shallow. He's a very smart horse. He's 16-1, so a couple of pounds each way wouldn't go astray. Just small stakes, as the lads have said. It's a wide open race. I will mention one other, and that's a horse of Harry Fry's called Idaho Sun. Won a very, very competitive bumper at Windsor and won it well. And his run before that was in the summer at Newton Abbot, so you didn't really know whether he was very good at all. But he showed himself to be a smart horse at Windsor. He's got an official rating of 126, I noticed, which is pretty good. So he's 20-1, and I'd also have a couple of quid each way on him.
Another horse I know they think a lot of, and he's drifted because the way it ran last time. And I know Skelton's quite keen on his Fortune de Mare. The time before that, he did bolt up, didn't he? I think he will probably like the ground, and that's again another each way price. You probably get 4 or 5 places in this, won't you? But yeah, I'm Copacabana. It's a difficult race. I mean, something to win is at 50-1. You go on.
I wouldn't. All I would say is because I've watched so many Irish bumpers and haven't been impressed with the crop, it certainly wouldn't surprise me if there's an English winner of this race, and that is fairly unusual. It's usually an Irish race, but I wouldn't be surprised. Even El Kairos of Gary Moore's, although David Maxwell takes them out, who we all know is not the best jockey in the world, but a great Corinthian and a great sport, and a great supporter of National Hunt Racing. That is a smart horse. And if one of the pros was riding it, he'd probably be a lot shorter price. But again, as Andy Smith says, all of these horses will be fancied. It's who handles the occasion, who handles the undulations, who handles the ground, and obviously who has the most ability. It's a very, very difficult race. I like Copacabana.
Yeah.
I like No Drama this end, and I like Idaho Sun. That's my three.
Yeah, I'm Dave on Copacabana. I'd probably have a couple of quid each way on the home Ditchit horse. Yeah, but my main bet in this would be Copacabana, and that's that. That's
Yeah, and a review of a last minute review of yesterday. Obviously,
No,
today.
Sorry, today. Yeah,
we forgot about my anti-post bet on Django Bay.
Oh yes. So we're going to go there. We're going to go there.
I need a piss.
So you stay where you are. Greg had an anti-post bet in the Arkle on Django Bay at 12-1. 12-1. I mean, 2 out, he looked like he was going to be pulled up, and then he stormed up the hill in a most extraordinary race. So Greg was dancing around the lounge, which was great to see.
The neighbours were knocking on the thing, telling us to shut up.
Yeah, and then obviously we lifted the roof when, or 2 of us lifted the roof when Haiti Galore strode clear in the last. We also gave, I think, Copac Day Board.
And Lossie.
And I did also comment last night that I thought Golden Ace would run on up the hill and maybe run into second place in the champion hurdle. Now, she's gone and won it. I personally didn't have a penny on her, so I need my ass kicked because she was a huge price. But she would have been a great second to Stake Man even if he'd stood up. And but there we are. So we've give a few. We've already had some phone calls from friends saying they'd back this and back that and made a few quid. So that's what we do it for.
Yeah.
We want you all to make a few quid.
I picked up £27.50 today.
So, see you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, good. Here's my good luck for day 2.